Okay. All right. So we use asana and pranayama. That's two of the steps on the Eightfold Path to Yoga. But the very first step is called yama. These are inward observances. And within that, there's 5 yamas. The first one is what we're going to focus on today. And if you've ever been in my classes for any amount of time, you'll know that we never get much further than this very first step. And that's because we want to master that step before we go forward. And that first step is called ahimsa, which is literally translates to nonviolence. And in yoga, what nonviolence means, it's not a matter of not punching somebody, but it's a matter of compassion. It begins with yourself so that you can extend it outward. So nonviolent thought, nonviolent action towards yourself first, and then toward others. So what I want to do is take just a moment to see if you can drum up something that might be like a violent thought toward yourself. And I do not mean a physical act of violence. I think the best way to translate it would be something like negativity toward yourself. We all experience negative thoughts toward ourselves. And see if you can identify something that you say to yourself that is a negative thought. For some of us, that's really difficult to do. For some of us, we can't compartmentalize a negative thought from a positive thought. Yet, every one of us has negative thoughts, and that's without exception. I'm going to go for a very obvious one for myself. To give you an example, is as I'm getting older, I've got new lines on my face, and I might say, oh, especially this thing here in the middle, especially that. I'll look at that and say, oh, that I look ugly. How many of us have ever looked in the mirror and said, oh, I look ugly, or I look fat, or I look skinny, or whatever? We've all done that at some point or another, right? Especially as we age, you know, I'm losing my hair, that's unattractive, or whatever. So that's a negative thought. But then we do it when we talk to ourselves. How many times do we start a sentence to ourselves with I can't or I shouldn't? We do it all the time, right? Oh, I can't reach that high. Well, actually, yes, you can reach that high. You just might need assistance to get there. You might need a ladder or scaffolding or something else, but you can do it. But we do that all the time. The first step in yoga is learning to reframe that way of thinking, so that we can then reframe that way of thinking in our outwardness toward other people as well. So awareness of self is the beginning of an awareness of compassion extended outward. So today when we do our asana, our poses, we're going to focus on awareness of our body. Do you know that before every emotion comes a body sensation? Every time we have an emotion, if we're in tuned enough, we'll realize that it actually exposes itself in the physical body before it exposes itself in the mind. So a really clear example of this is fear. If you're driving in a car and you have to slam on your brakes, I think most of us have had that circumstance at some point in our life. You see a danger ahead, you have to slam on your brakes. The very first thing that happens is a bodily reaction. Your hands might grip the wheel, your shoulders might tense up, your tummy might suck in or get butterflies real quick. And that all occurs actually before it comes to your mind that there's a danger ahead. And it's that way in every emotion we have. So today we're going to focus on our body and how it feels in our poses so that we can bring that awareness into our mind. Okay? Second to that, we're going to try to accept the bodily sensation without judgment. We're going to do some hip opening exercises today. And for some of us with tighter hips, they're going to not necessarily be comfortable. They might be downright uncomfortable. Now, remember in the first class, I talked about the difference between pain and challenging. So you're going to need to use that awareness today, the difference between pain and challenging. I don't want any of us in pain in yoga class. That's not the class I teach. So if you find yourself in a posture that is causing pain, come right out of it immediately, take a break, reassess, step back. But if you find yourself being a little bit challenged, ask yourself if you can stay with that or if you need to back off, okay? So you'll see what I mean as we go on. I want us to experience our sensations in our physical body. All right, so before we go on, does anybody have any questions about what I've said so far? All right, then we are going to start with our breathing, as I'm trying to start each class with breathing. This one that we're going to do today is a very common yogic breath called three-part breathing. It's kind of considered the beginner's yoga breath or the beginning pranayama breath posture. So we want us to sit up tall, and you could be sitting however you would like, in a chair, on the floor, whatever's comfortable for you. It doesn't matter. You can even be standing. In fact, we're going to go right into standing after that. So if you are standing and would like to stay there, you're welcome to. But we want to be able to sit up nice and tall. Lungs are open. Spine is erect. Three-part breath is exactly what it sounds like. On your inhale and your exhale is going to be in three parts. So as we inhale, we're going to first inhale into our belly. Second, inhale into our diaphragm or our low rib cage. And third, breathe into our chest and throat. So for a lot of us who aren't familiar with this, it's really helpful to bring your hands to it. So place one hand on your tummy, right about at your navel or below your navel. For me right now, my hand naturally rested with my thumb against my belly button and the pad of my palm on my tummy. Then the next hand is going to go up, upper chest toward the throat. We're going to breathe in and out through the nose, and we're going to, as we inhale, fill up the belly, and then fill up the ribs, and then fill up the chest. As we exhale, we're going to just reverse that. Exhale from the throat area, chest area, rib area, belly area. The inhale is a little bit more defined than the exhale. So you'll probably be able to feel the three parts in the inhale more than you can feel the three parts in the exhale. So again, inhaling belly, ribs, chest, throat. Exhaling chest, throat, ribs, belly. Let's try that several times on your own. As you continue breathing this way, you might notice that it feels kind of like a wave, or you might imagine it kind of like a wave rolling in and rolling out, a wave of the ocean, rolling in and rolling out. If you struggle with this breath at all, don't worry about it. I don't want it to cause you any stress. It's just something that maybe you'll want to practice again throughout the day or another time. If it's coming quite naturally to you and feels comfortable, you can actually continue this breath throughout your whole yoga practice. Let's take 2 more breaths this way. Let's return to our natural breath. How did we do with that? Did everybody do okay? Did anybody just not get that at all? All right, it seems like everybody seemed to do okay with that. Good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come back to that breath for just another moment or two. Now that we kind of understand the breath a little bit, we're going to come back to it and notice the sensations in our body as we perform that 3-part breath. So this time, instead of so much focusing on the 3 parts, we're going to focus on how that breath fills in our body. Notice the head, neck, shoulders, spine, tummy, legs, or whatever else you notice. Okay, let's come back to that breath. If you'd like to bring your hands to surface, you can. You don't have to. Sitting up nice and tall, notice what comes up in your mind. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Breathing in belly, ribs, chest, throat. Let's take about 2 more breaths that way, sensing in. What? And then return back to your natural breath when you're ready. Okay, did anybody else, when they sensed in to try to feel the sensations, did anybody else just get a bombardment of physical sensations? I mean, my entire body was talking to me. I felt my energy in my hands and my arms tingling and my thighs tense, and I just felt all kinds of sensation there. I don't know if you experienced that. Maybe you didn't feel any sensation, and that's okay. But what was nice for me is as I continued the breath, I noticed those physical sensations subside, and I was able to sit more comfortably with the breath, which is kind of the idea of it, to become more present with exactly what your goals are and what you're doing. My goal for that was to practice the breath. So once I was able to recognize the sensations in my body, I was able to then let those sensations go and become more in tune with the presence in that breath. Did anybody else experience anything like that? All right. And that's okay if you did or you didn't, it doesn't matter. It's just awareness. With that said, let's go ahead and get started in our movement. We're going to start with standing today. So come on up to standing, however you'd like to get there. Turn this music down just a tad. All right. My cat's up on the fireplace mantle and it's hilarious. I've never seen her there. Okay, so standing up nice and tall, we're going to bring our hands forward, intertwine the fingers. And then with an inhale, we're just going to reach our arms up overhead and then turn the palms up toward the ceiling. Reach up and then bow to your right and then to your left. Back to your right and back to your left. Nice big stretch. Back to center, press up, and then arms wide, come down. Okay. Let's move our shoulders a little bit, just rolling them around. All right. Now we're going to do that same exact thing, only with awareness of how it feels in our body. Take a moment, notice from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the top of your head, a really quick little body scan. What do I feel? In my case, just to give an example, in my case, when I was sitting down there, my left foot fell asleep a little bit. So I feel that tingling sensation. I feel a tightness in my hip. Just these different things that I feel. I feel an openness in my tummy. Let's see if we can bring to mind the sensations that we feel as we move through that movement one more time. So we're going to bring the hands forward, intertwine the fingers. Notice what it feels like when your fingers touch. With an inhale, we're going to bring the arms up. Notice how that feels in your shoulders. Once the arms are up, flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Oh, what does that feel like in your hands and everywhere else? And then we're going to bow to the right. Notice those sensations, the muscle pulls, the stretching, if there's any burning or anything else. And up and over to the other side. Notice that the experience has changed as you come back to the right. And again to the left. Back up to center. And then arms wide, float the arms down. What does that feel like as your arms move through space? Okay. Let's move the shoulders again, up and back, down and forward. Notice the sensations in your neck, in the top of your shoulders, in the back, in your chest, in your tummy, in your legs or feet. Notice if your body needs you to move in a different way. Feel free to do that. All right. Coming back to centered stillness. We're then going to bring our hands behind our back, just crossing the arms. Simply crossing the arms. Notice what that feels like in your chest. Do you feel a pulling? If you feel any kind of burning, ease up just a little bit. As we inhale, we're going to lift our chin, stretching our throat. Notice how it feels to open your throat. And then move your chin down, stretching the back of your neck. Be aware of sensations in your neck and back as you move there. Can you feel that all the way down your back? Can you feel that anyplace else? Come on back to center. With an inhale, bring your arms wide and slowly up. Reach up toward the ceiling, and then with an exhale, arms wide and back down. Okay. Now, as I said, we're going to do hip opening exercises today. So let's start with hip circles. Bringing hands to the waist, feet a little bit wider than hips. We're going to use our breath to move us in our circles. So we're going to inhale, move the hips forward and to the right. Exhale, move the hips back and to the left. Inhale, forward, right. Exhale, back and left. We're going to do this 3 more times. Notice the way your body feels as you move this way. Notice if there's any aches or pains or if your hips are screaming at you. Just being aware. Then when you're ready, we're going to change directions. So we're going to inhale to the left and back. And exhale right and up. Inhale left and back. Exhale right and up. 3 more times, being aware of the sensations created in your body as you move. One more time. Arms down, back to center. We're gonna go right into a little bit of balancing where we're gonna open our hips in the balancing. So if you know that you need a chair or a wall to assist in your balance or something else, then feel free to find that space right now. Balancing is one where we can very quickly expose negative self-talk for a lot of us, because a lot of us have a hard time balancing, and we are going to do a one-legged balance. We have a hard time balancing, and so that negative self-talk often comes right in, like, I can't do this, or here's a popular one, my balance isn't what it used to be. That's negative self-talk. Or I'm so wobbly, or gosh, I'm getting old, or I'm not very strong. These are all negative things that we say to ourselves, especially in balance. So as we go into our balance, we're going to focus not only on the physical sensations in our body, but also in the story that we tell ourselves in our mind as we balance. Let's see if we can notice anything that comes up. We're going to start with our right leg, firm and strong, supported by the earth. We're going to open our left hip out a little bit. Then we're going to lift the hip off the floor. Notice the sensations in your body, in your right leg, in your left leg, in your tummy, anywhere else. And notice what you're saying to yourself, if anything. We're going to now move that hip in circles, circling the hip. When you fall out of the pose, notice what you say to yourself. I like to laugh at myself when I fall. I don't feel like that's negative. I feel like that makes it fun. Let's try to go the opposite direction. Is that right side burning yet? I feel my right glutes already. And bring it down. All right, let's go to the other side. Same thing. Left leg strong, rooted, supported by the earth. Right hip is going to open. We're going to notice the sensations in our body, bringing awareness to that, as well as what's going on in our mind and thoughts. Right leg up. When you're ready, circling the hip. One of the thoughts I'm noticing is that my balance isn't as strong on this leg as it is on the other. Got room for improvement there. Let's go the opposite direction. Oh yeah, I'm feeling that. You feel that in your feet? Uh-huh. Your legs, your bottom, and other places too. Let's relax. Come back to center. Shake it out a little bit. All right. I'm curious, although I won't ask you to respond right now, but I'm curious if anybody had any of those negative thoughts pop up. And if you were aware of it, if they did. We're going to go into two poses that we haven't done yet this term, I don't think, and that's Warrior Two and Triangle Pose. So you're going to want to turn on your mat so that you're in line with your mat horizontally. Doesn't matter which way, but notice which foot is closest to your screen. In my case, my right foot is closest to my screen, so that's the foot I'm going to start with. I'm going to turn that foot that's closest to the screen so that the toes are pointing toward the screen. In my case, it's my right foot, so I'm turning my right foot toward the screen. My legs are wide. So in fact, I didn't say that. Let me do it facing you guys. My legs are wide, and I'm turning my right foot toward the screen, or the forward foot toward the screen. Bending the left knee so that the knee is just above the ankle. think we did do this pose actually in our first class. Before I go any further than this, I want you to notice the sensations in your body. Notice the way that feels in your thighs and in your feet. Notice what your toes are doing. Are they curling under? Are they spread wide? What are your toes doing? Notice if your knee is aligned above your ankle or if your knee is someplace else. Marley. Then we're going to lift our chest up and bring our arms wide, palms facing down. Notice how that feels. Look out toward that forward foot. As you feel this in your body, what's going on in your mind? Is all of your attention on the feelings of the physical sensation? Is your mind wondering to, when are we going to get out of this pose? Or something else? Now notice how it feels when we flip our palms up. Just flip your palms up. I just experienced a big change in my body when I flipped my palms up. Let's bring the arms down and straighten that front leg. Good. Take a breath or two. Notice how your body feels. From here, going into triangle pose. Foot position is the same, so that forward foot is still facing the screen, and that back foot is facing outward. With an inhale, we're going to bring the arms wide, palms facing down. Look toward your forward hand, and then let it lead you forward, and then down. The hand comes down, the upper arm comes up. If it feels okay in your neck, look up toward the upper hand. If that doesn't feel okay, then look down or someplace else. Depending on how your body feels, your hand might slide all the way down your leg, or it might be up higher. We're going for a side body stretch. Listen to your body. See if it's trying to tell you anything. Notice if the thoughts it's trying to give you are compassionate towards yourself. I know one thought I had is, boy, I'm out of shape. That's not a very compassionate thought, really. I might turn that into something like, boy, I've got a lot of room to grow here. Let's try to finish this by coming back to warrior two. Bending that front knee, coming up, arms wide. Bring your arms down, straighten through the front leg, turn that foot in. We're going to go right to the other side by turning the opposite foot out. Okay. Now the foot that was facing the screen is now facing out. The foot that was not facing the screen is now facing back. One way to align this is if you look down, the front heel should be about in the same line as the back arch. Front heel, back arch. Let's bend the knee of the front leg. Before we move our arms, notice what that feels like in your thighs, in your hips, in your feet and ankles, in your chest and shoulders, or any place else. Does it feel different than the front side did? Let's bring our arms wide, palms facing down. If it feels okay, look towards your front fingers. Take a few breaths here. Get comfortable with the sensations in your body. Remember, no pain. If you have pain, come out of the posture or ease back. Challenge or a little bit uncomfortable is okay, but no pain. What sensations do you feel in your body? And what story is your mind telling you? Bring your arms down, straighten the front leg. We'll go into triangle pose. Arms wide, palms facing down. You know what? We didn't do palms up in our warrior two. We got to go back to warrior two. Sorry, guys. Bending that front knee again. Let's turn the palms up. If arms wide are uncomfortable for you, you can bring your hands to your waist and maintain the leg position. Or if you need a break in your legs, you can straighten your legs, maintain the arm position. All right, now let's go to triangle pose. Arms down, straighten the front leg. When you're ready, with an inhale, bring your arms wide. Looking out at that front finger, or that front hand, reach and follow. And then bring the arm down, the body toward it. The back arm up. If it feels okay in your neck, look up toward that upper hand. Notice the sensations you feel in your body, whether they're in your feet, ankles, legs, side body, neck, arms, or someplace else. And notice how your mind reacts to that. If holding your arm up is difficult, bring your hand down to your waist. Keep your side body open. Couple of big breaths, deep breaths. Allowing your body to expose awareness. With an inhale, bend your right knee. We're coming back to warrior two. Looking out toward that forward hand. Then bring your arms down, straighten that leg, and turn the foot back in. So now you're in a wide-legged stance. Stay on your mat like that. I'm going to turn forward so that I can see so that you can see what I'm doing. We're going to do some side lunges to help open our hip. Bring your hands to your waist. Turn your right foot out to the right. And then bend your knee, just like we were in warrior two. Come back up, turn your left foot out, bend your knee, back up, right, left, right, left. Keep your chest tall, right, left, right, left, and come back to center. Turn both feet facing forward, legs are still wide on your mat. And we're gonna do the same thing. Notice the way this feels different when we move, just by the placement of our feet. We're gonna drop our bottom back. Bending the knee, drop your bottom back, right, and up. Drop your bottom back, left, and up. Good, right, and up, left, and up. Right, up, left, up. One more time, right. One more time, left. Back up. Let's take a breath. Bringing our full awareness into the way this feels in our body. We're going to go back to the right and we're going to hold it. So right, hold. Notice where you're feeling this the most. What area is talking to you the most in this position? For me, it's my inner left thigh. Come on back up. Let's go to the other side, same thing. Bend the knee, drop the bottom. Notice what area is talking to you the most in this posture. Interestingly enough, for me, it's still the same area. It went from stretch to strength. That might mean it needs some attention. What does your thoughts tell you when you're holding this pose? Come back up. Good. Let's bring the feet in for just a moment to shake it out. Can you turn that down a little bit? Now, before we go on, we're gonna bring our legs wide once again. I just wanted to give us a little break there. Bring the legs wide once again. We're gonna go into the wheel of vitality. The side stretch includes goddess pose, which we did last Thursday. What is today? Today's Thursday. So we did it on Tuesday. It includes that, plus our side lunges. So let's turn both feet wide. With an inhale, both arms up. And exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, goddess squat or goddess pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice the sensations in your body as you're here. And we're about to move. With an inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. With an exhale, lunge to the right, bending the right knee. Hands are gonna come down to the floor. Sweep the floor as you straighten the right leg, bending the left leg. And with an inhale, come back up straight. And an exhale to that goddess squat. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale right. Over to the left. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, goddess squat. Last one, inhale up. Exhale right. Over to the left. Inhale up. Straighten through. Exhale, goddess squat. We're gonna now move to the left 3 times. I'm not gonna do as much talking, but I want you to notice the way this feels in your body and maybe in your mind. When you're ready, inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale right. Up. Exhale goddess. 2 more times without me speaking at all. Hold that goddess. Bring your hands to your thighs. Keep your knees bent. See if you can drop your bottom a little bit lower. Keeping your hands at your thighs. See if you can send your bottom back further. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and lower your head down, back straight.
Yoga gets intense.
And come on back up. Walk your feet in towards each other. Shake it out. Good job. We've been doing a lot of hip openers today. So I want to do a hip flexor exercise too. This one's really easy, or I should say really simple, but not necessarily easy. We're going to hold onto a chair if we need to, or the wall. It's another balancing exercise. I'll turn to the side so that you can see kind of what we're doing. Working the hip flexors, right leg down, hands can be anywhere as comfortable. We're gonna bring the knee up of the left leg and then extend the leg out. Bring the knee back in and down. So notice, maybe you thought you didn't need a chair, but you do. Grab a chair. We're gonna do that a few more times. Let's add breath. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, leg out. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, leg down. Again, inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale up and down. One last time, notice how it feels in your body. Inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's go to the other side. Changing positions in a chair or a wall if you need to. Let's just start for practice without breath. Right knee up, leg extends, knee comes back up and down. Good. Let's add breath. Inhale up, exhale out. Inhale up, exhale down. 2 more times. Inhale up, exhale out. Inhale up and down. Last time, notice how it feels in your body. Extend. Inhale up and down. Good. Shake it out. Very good. I think it's already time to come back down to the mat. However you'd like to get to the mat, or if you're coming to a chair instead of the ground, you're welcome to do that. As promised, we're gonna work on hips. So, sitting in some sort of a cross-legged position where your knees are wide. Doesn't matter what that position is, whatever's comfortable for you. We're gonna start by lifting up our right foot. With your left hand, grab hold of your right foot. With your right hand, grab hold of your right knee. Lift up that leg. Try to keep your back and chest tall, but it might pull you back. If that's the only way you can do it, that's okay. Try to be tall though. We're gonna rock the hip over to the left and the hip open to the right. And again, left, right. Sense into yourself and notice the way this feels in your body. Once you've got that sensation, notice how it feels in your mind. Notice where your thoughts are. Next time we come over to the left, let's see if we can bring our right foot down to the outside of the left thigh. It's kind of a big ask. You can hug your right knee, or you can add a little twist if you'd like to the right, where your right hand comes behind your back. But we're going for an opening here in the outer right hip. Notice how that feels in your body. Notice where your mind is. Good. Let's bring that right foot off to the right so that both knees are pointing to the left, kind of leaning onto the left arm. We're then going to bring our right knee back further, and we're going to try to make our left shin parallel to the top of our mat. If you're not moving the mat, the shin will be parallel toward your screen. So my right foot is away from my body. Let's see if I can turn a little bit so that you can see. Yeah. My right foot is away from my body. It's not up close to it. Seeing if we can sit up tall. This is a big work for that right hip. Let's see if we can bring our arms up overhead from here. And maybe you can't. Maybe your hands need to stay down to support you in this position. That's perfectly fine. If you can bring your arms up, see if you can twist side to side a little bit. It's kind of moving. Notice what that feels like in your body. Ooh, that's requiring a lot of back strength from me. Bring the hands back down. Let's see what it would feel like if we bring our hands in front of the front shin and lower the body downward. Then I start to feel that stretch in my front left thigh. Maybe you feel it someplace else. Notice the sensations in your body and notice what that says in your head. Let's come on back up. Gently bring that right foot back in, coming into a sort of cross-legged position. If you need to kick out your legs or anything, feel free to do that. We're going to go to the other side. So the right hand to the left foot, left hand to the left knee. lifting it up. You might feel very different on this side than you did on the other. We're going to start by pulling that left hip over to the right and then opening that left hip out to the left. Right, left. Notice what you feel in your body as you move this way. Notice it with compassion and without judgment or criticism. One more time. This time as the foot crosses the right thigh, see if you can bring it down to the floor. Keeping the knee up. Maybe you'll hug the knee or something else, or maybe you'll go into a twist, left hand behind your back, twisting to the left. Whatever's comfortable for you, whatever your body is leading you to do. Now for me, I've got pretty flexible hips, so I didn't go into talking about maybe your foot can't reach over your other thigh, and in that case, your foot would be in front of your right thigh. It would be in front of the shin. One more breath here. And release. We're going to bring that left foot back and the right foot forward so that the shin is about parallel to the top of your mat. Notice what that feels like on this side. Maybe it feels differently than it did on the other side. I'm going to turn a little bit so that you can see a little bit more of what my body's doing. I think that's better. You might need to lean into your right arm here, or you might be able to bring your arms up overhead and do a little bit of movement. Notice the way it feels in your body when you either move or stay in stillness. Bring your arms down. Maybe bring your arms forward in front of that right shin. And if it feels like it'd be okay, maybe leaning forward. You don't have to do this. Honor your body, doing whatever feels right for your body. Notice the sensations and what your body's telling you. Sometimes your body is warning you, like, get out of this pose. In fact, right now, my right hip is telling me that. My right hip is saying, come back up, because I don't like this position. So I'll honor that by coming back up. Some might say, go deeper, and then you might bring your chest all the way down and arms wide. Up to you. One more breath. Work your way back up if you're not already up. Come forward and around. Bring your legs straight out in front of you. Wiggle your legs out. Bring your arms forward, palms facing down. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Let your low back lead you all the way down to the mat. If you don't trust your core to get you down safely, bring your hands down first. Otherwise, easing your way comfortably down onto the ground. Good. From here, we're going to do one abdominal exercise, and then we're going to move into our finishing sequence. Navel drawn down toward the mat. We're going to bring arms up, and we're going to bring legs up. Point your toes. We're going to go into a Pilates move. With an inhale, draw your legs down and arms up overhead. And then with an exhale, arms wide, bring your knees in, bring your shoulders off the ground, and give yourself a hug. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhale, legs up, hands up, and then stretch long body. And then exhale, knees in, arms wide, shoulders off the ground. One more time. Inhale, head down, feet up, hands up, stretch long. And exhale, arms wide, knees in, shoulders off the ground. Keep your arms around your shins and let your head come back down. Take a couple of breaths. Rock your body side to side. Notice how that feels in your body. Notice how it feels in your mind. Lower your left foot down, keeping the knee bent, and place your right foot on top of the left thigh. Let your right knee fall away from your body. Notice how that feels. I'll turn so that you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Notice how that feels. If you feel a stretch in your right thigh, you can stay there. But if you'd like to go deeper, bring your left foot off of the ground, right hand between your legs, meeting your left hand behind your leg. Relax your shoulders. Bring awareness into the sensations in your hip, in your chest, in your face, and any place else. Straighten your left leg up into the sky and notice how that changes any sensations that you feel. Left foot down, release your hands and bring the right foot down. Let's go to the other side. Left foot or left ankle rests on the right thigh. Left knee relaxes away from your body. Take a moment to check in and see how that feels. And if you'd like to go deeper, but you don't need to go deeper, but if you'd like to go deeper, left hand between the legs, right foot off the ground, meeting the right hand behind the leg. Check in. And then right leg straightens. Bring that right foot back down, release your hands. Left foot comes down as well. Knees bent, arms at your side in a constructive rest posture. We're gonna head towards Shavasana. Now, if you're somebody who does have yoga props, grab hold of your block if you have a block or something that you've used like a block, or if you have a bolster or otherwise firm pillow, or maybe a towel or even a yoga mat rolled up, we're gonna place it underneath our bottom, right about at the tailbone. Marley, lock under your tailbone. And then we're gonna straighten our legs and see what that feels like. Turn your palms facing up. Now, if you don't have a block or anything else, don't worry, just lie flat on your back. So that block is in the fleshy part of your bottom, if you're using a block at all, not on your low back. Notice any sensations in your body. If you feel any crunching in your low back, bend your knees up a little bit. If you'd like to practice that three-part breath, you're certainly welcome to come back to that. Leading into our final relaxation, I'm going to lead us through a quick little body scan. It's about a 2-minute scan. So we'll start with just becoming aware of the breath. Notice the way that the breath is moving in your body. Notice, accept, and let go of any thoughts in your mind, bringing all of your focus into awareness of breath. If you find your mind being distracted with other thoughts, just keep coming back to the breath. Now we're going to bring attention into the body. Notice the weight of your body on the floor, or if you're someplace else, notice the weight of your body in the chair or standing, whatever position you're in. Just note that you feel heavy or light against your surface. Take a deep breath or two. Notice as you breathe out, your body might begin to relax a little bit, allowing each exhale to bring you into a softer state. Perhaps relaxing more deeply with every breath. Now, depending on your position, take notice of the surfaces that are touching the floor. Perhaps it's your heels, your thighs, your bottom, your back, and notice what part of your back is touching the floor or parts are touching the floor. Your arms, your hands. Are the back of your hands touching, or the front of your hands, or something else? Notice the sensations in your body as they're touching the surface that's supporting you. The weight, the pressure, the sensation, coolness or heat. Maybe you feel heaviness, lightness, pulsing, sensitivity, or anything else. Bring your attention into your stomach area, your area of digestion, and notice if your stomach is tense or tight, or if it feels open and welcoming. Maybe you might feel hungry or full. Ask your belly, whatever it's feeling, to relax, to soften. Let it soften. And take a breath. And notice your hands. Notice what your hands are doing. If they feel tense or tight, if they're closed or open, if they feel relaxed or easy. Just notice. And invite them to relax. If they're already relaxed, invite them to relax a little bit deeper. Bring that feeling, that awareness up your arms and into your shoulders. Feeling any sensation without judgment. This isn't the time to notice aches and pains. We're just feeling sensations. Allow your shoulders to be soft. For some of us, we might need to tell our shoulders that it's okay to relax. Do the same with your neck and your throat. Noticing, letting them be soft, relaxing, telling your body that it's okay to let go. For this moment, you're perfectly safe. You have nothing to guard against. Just relax and let go. So only for a moment. Soften your jaw. Let your face and facial muscles rest. Let your tongue and teeth be soft. Allow your eyes to feel heavy in their sockets. Again, nothing to worry about, nothing to guard against. Everything is okay in this moment. Anything else can wait. Notice your whole body present. Take another breath. Notice the way the breath moves throughout your body. Maybe you only feel it right where you breathe into, or maybe you feel it down into your limbs and fingers and toes. But be aware of your body the best you can. We're going to take a few more breaths in quiet, and then we'll come back to full awareness. Now, if you're feeling comfortable and relaxed and would like to stay here, by all means, feel free to stay here. But if you've got to move forward in your day now, gently start moving your body. Wiggling your fingers or toes, bending your knees or elbows. And slowly you're working your way up to seated. Moving intentionally and maybe even being aware of the way that you feel as you move. Taking your time to ultimately working your way on up. Well, my little dog will work as an alarm clock if you fell asleep. All right, I want to take just a moment. If you're still coming up to seated, that's fine. Or if you're going to stay there lying down for a bit, that's great too. But I wanted to take just a moment to have us all kind of check in and notice how we feel now after having a mindful practice of awareness. And I'm going to ask you to check in with yourself in a bit of a meditation, check in with yourself to how you might be able to bring a little bit more compassion toward yourself into your life. Maybe it's not real obvious. Maybe this is something that you'll have to spend some time with and think about, which is another block on the, or another step on the path to yoga is personal inquiry or introspection. But how can you add a little bit more compassion toward yourself? And see if you can put that into practice over the weekend. Today's Thursday. See if you can put that into practice. If you're having a hard time with that question, let's talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and finish. Those of you that need to leave, you can leave. And those of you that want to stay, I know that Susan is going to stick around to tell us the story about how she found her dog, which is a remarkable story from what I understand. So I'm going to say goodbye to those that need to say goodbye, and I'll stop the recording here. So you guys, such a pleasure to get to practice yoga with you today. I hope that it felt as good for you as it did for me. I honor each of you with namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.